Hello guys, and welcome to another video from the Iron Fett channel. Now today we're going to be looking at a very special piece of my Boba Fett cosplay, and today we are looking at the Jetpack. Now this is a really big piece of armor and very special. I've put a ton of time into this. There was actually a few days where I'd pretty much wake up, work on this for multiple hours, and then just kind of relax because it was a lot of work. There was a lot of mess ups. This is completely custom. I've just gone off of pictures. It's made out of foam and a ton of other supplies, which I'll show you when we take a look at it. But it's just great, and I hope you guys enjoy. Now let's take a look at it. So here we are with the Jetpack. Now, it's a fairly big piece. I've spent a lot of work into this. It's about the length of my arm, a little longer due to the tip. I did make the edge of this kind of big, but I didn't want that kind of big sized effect. It might be a little out of scale, but I did kind of go off of the measurements from pictures that I've seen online. This whole thing is completely custom, so I like I've said before in my past videos, I'm going to try and have a few videos on how to make custom armor out of foam and cardboard and all that. But there was a lot of, this took me a really long time. I'd say it took me about 4 months, but what you need to understand about that is that was stretched along a certain period of time. So I only worked on it sometimes. So first off, the first thing I did was actually got this back piece cut out, and it was my first layer, and then I just had 2 thin layers of this EVA foam. It is the thick, actually, floor mat foam. So it is the puzzle piece foam, which is the stuff like this. And pretty much all the foam pieces you see here is what that's made out of. I just took that and I did two layers like these, 2 pieces like kind of square rectangle things up to the top, and then I add this middle piece, which is actually the part of a iced tea container or a juice container, which you can see up here, which is the yellow part. And then actually my girlfriend gave me the idea. She was like, that doesn't look too right. So I'm like, I'm gonna rip it apart. I restarted, and then I kind of gave it thickness. Now as you can see here, it is really thick. It has the very back layer, then it has a second layer, and I kind of cut this piece out. I don't know what I'm doing with that right now, but I cut this piece out. Then there is, let me count here. So including that second layer, which is another size of the back piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 layers of this foam in this one piece. So it does have a bit of weight to it. It is fairly light for how big it is, which is good because I will be lugging it around on my back. But it is fairly nice. It's fairly light, and it's not too bad. Now this is all iced tea container that I actually had to cut out. I have to sand the sides here from the old piece that I had. Then this is all the thick matte foam. Now I did the 3D texturing where I just did 1 thin layer, which I actually had to cut in half with a pair of scissors. And I did a full piece up here, which gives it that 3D texture. I did 1 piece here, 1 piece here. Now these I've had since the start. These were the first things I designed, which was the side pieces, which I just did the same thing that you do with Pepakira. And I cut out pieces and left little tabs on them and glued them together to make it 3D. And then I found these tubes, which I actually had from a poster, and I just cut those in half. And this one side wasn't long enough, so I actually just had to take paper and resize it to the same size. It actually came out pretty good. Now if you look at that, they did come out pretty even. And then I just took cardstock paper and did that. And I can fill these little lumps here with Bondo. And then I just took the rest of the juice mix container, put it here, and then I did cardstock over that. Top of foam cup, bottom of foam cup, tape cylinder, cardstock paper that I wrapped up, another foam cup, cardstock paper, and then I made the top with cardstock paper. And if you can't see here, this is the top with the cardstock paper. And I just took thin pieces of foam that I cut out, and I stuck them on there. Now as you can see, there are these curves here that are nice and flat. So pretty much what I did is I took all the layers of foam that are in here. Actually, all these layers of foam are higher than the pieces down here. So I just took cardstock paper and laid it along and glued it along there, which made it nice and flat made it a flat surface. Then for the bottom, I just traced out what I had, which I still have to trim a little bit, and then I cut it out and glued it on there, so it gives it that flat surface, so you're not bondoing this whole area and then having to sand it all down. Cardstock paper has tons of uses. You can make 3D objects, flatten surfaces, it's all great. I do have to do a bit of sanding. The reason why I'm making this video now is because I was going to resin and bondo it, but I wanted to make the video on how I made it and the pieces that are here first, just to show you guys what I got, because I am going to be using a lot of bondo and resin on it, and then I'll have a video on that. Now these pieces are just foam cups with these balls to some old Nerf gun or something that I had. Then they have these O-rings on them with cardstock paper and foam in them, and then they were just glued on here like this, but they fell off because it was just glue holding them on, so I gotta fix that. But yeah, this was probably the hardest thing that I've done on this, like to build, probably on this project. This is the hardest thing that I've built probably ever, in whether it's cosplay or whatever. Like, of course, if you can see my Iron Man helmet in the back, I did have struggles with that, but that was my first Pepakura project. This is the hardest custom thing I've ever made, just on my own, doing my own thing. And I actually really enjoyed it. It may have came out of scale, but I'm really happy with it, and I think it came out pretty cool. Leave me some comments, tell me what you guys liked about it, if you guys thought it was cool, and leave me some comments on anything you guys think I can improve. Or you should also subscribe. I have way more Armour videos coming. I have other channel series coming and all that. I'm really excited. I kind of want to start channel series towards my kind of personal aspect of myself, not just the Armour and stuff, because that is the little geekier, nerdier side of me. And then I want to show you guys who I really am, about me and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys like this. I can go into, if you guys actually want a more depth description, I'm gonna post this video on my Wix website. I'm probably gonna do a little write-up for it. And after I resin and bondo it, I'm probably gonna have a full in-depth video on this thing. But yeah, I hope I could explain the best for you guys. For you guys making it, you kind of just gotta eyeball it. It's really hard and really difficult, but it's really fun doing. Like, once you're done, you really know you did something good. You're proud that you've made this really cool thing, because I knew this was going to be hard. And making this thing out of Pepakura is fairly hard. And I've seen people make it out of 3D print. It's a challenge. So I just hope you guys can figure it out. And if you want to see more, subscribe. See ya.
Bye.